so I love the technology. I think when I started 14 years ago and even transitioning into the commercial security, what was available then versus what is available now and how different companies approach system design or the technology that's involved in building security has changed so much. Back when I started in this industry, it was a lot about how do we protect this space? How do we control who gets in this space? Or how do we watch maybe what goes on in this space? And nowadays, especially being in a smart building portfolio, we look at how can we improve building efficiencies? How do we make it easier for property managers to run the building? How do we make it easier and in commercial buildings, how do we make it easier for people to use a space, right? It's no longer just purely about how do we protect the space, but how do we make it easier or more efficient, or how do we do that? And the technology is constantly improving or constantly changing. So even if we look at like when I started doing smart buildings 2 years ago to what I do now today, it's vastly changed and it's always changing, it's so interesting. So technology for one, and then the people. I love the people in the industry. I think any security professional you meet who's been in the industry for a very long time is always willing to help you along in your career path, which is another reason why I love being in the industry. Some of our largest challenges right now is attracting new and younger talent into the industry. I think that a lot of the times, and I get this actually a lot when I talk about to people who aren't in the industry, and I say, hey, I'm in the security industry, people automatically jump to either you're a security guard or you're an IT guy working on maybe cyber in the background. And so they don't have an understanding of there's actually a lot of different career paths within the security industry. There's, security management and risk management, and there's all these different pieces. And unfortunately, if you don't get that education piece out, or if you don't talk to people about what is available within the industry, people are not attracted to the industry. So there's a lot of people who don't want to join because they're like, well, I don't want to be a security guard forever. Or I don't know IT stuff, so I can't join because I won't be able to do cybersecurity. And, for myself, like I'm not an IT guy. I've never been an IT guy, but I've been very successful in the industry because of just working hard and networking and connecting and looking at all the available opportunities that are out there. So I think the biggest risk we have today is that we're not attracting the talent quick enough. The biggest opportunity that we have who are currently in the industry is recognizing what talent we maybe have available to us. And one of my responses in the magazine article was that I am chapter chair with the ACES chapter here in Calgary. And one of the things that myself and the other executive teams came up with was that in order to attract new people to come to ACES events, instead of this kind of the same old people that were always coming, was to say, come to your first event for free. So now people who have always been coming to events can say, well, I'm going to bring this new person that we just hired in, and I'd like them to get really involved within the ACES industry. So let's invite them out to this first event for free, and maybe they'll talk to some of the more senior people in the industry, or they can see what we talk about in these meetings or these educational sessions, because that's how we really broaden the view of the industry. And then I think a lot of it is, I know a lot of other chapters around Canada have been working specifically with like colleges and universities to try to, how do we attract those people who may be in a law program or who may be in an actual cybersecurity program to say, hey, these are the futures in this industry. I was absolutely honored to find out that I was part of the top 10 under 40. And especially as someone, I've been in the industry for 14 years and, sometimes you feel like you kind of work in the background. I know specifically within the last calendar year, I've done a lot of speaking opportunities. I've been chapter chair for the last 2 years. And a lot of those things were not just to improve my own career, but I wanted to be more visible within the security industry and network out and bring more attention to the industry, just so we can bring in that younger generation. And, I thought maybe I could really help out with being able to bring in that younger generation. So absolutely honored to be on the list of top 10 under 40.